wee small one here. This is all mostly loose anyway, hopefully it doesn't fight me too much. And then he tipped off. It's sort of old school pebble dash. Now I rubbed up smooth, so we'll have to scratch it and rub it up smooth. Same as the side here. Side blocks are all painted, so we'll give them a quick scrape down. They're clean enough. I think it's recent enough paint, so I'll give that a scrape down and a paint of SBR and coat over them. And also round the wee back peak here, which is a spare block. Again, might give it a wee watery PVA, or sorry, SBR, and scratch coat with some SBR in it also. And I'll give you some footage of all that, guys. Wish me luck. So here we are, getting the SBR on. Give it all a quick scrape. Very old blocks indeed. So I'm sort of half expecting them to be a wee bit hot, a bit of suction in places. Although the bottom does look a bit damp, as you do get, you know, the moisture sort of getting into them. So the SBR, it's not an absolute must, but I think it's good because it's going to give me a nice chemical bond. Not only will the blocks actually help bond the render in the satin cement, but this SBR is going to give that extra wee sort of buckle, you know. And here I am just coating on. My ratio is 3:1 scratch coat here, guys. What I've got in it, I've got some mortar mix, say 2 capfuls per bucket of water, and about 3 capfuls of SBR per bucket of water, and just 1 capful of waterproofer. SBR itself is also waterproofer, so the waterproofer in it's just really to help sort of, you know, make sure it's waterproof. So not only does my stuff have SBR in it and it's going to help the gear bond, but I've also painted it on the blocks here as well. Like I said, it's an old gauge. The roof, for example, is made from asbestos, so have to be very careful not to break that, as asbestos is safe as long as you don't disturb it, of course. Make it airborne particles, that's where the danger comes. So I'm all good with this roof. I'm gonna take my time, work around these wee wooden corbels, nice and handy. I think they're actually the trusses coming right through, which are holding up the actual roof itself. So just take my time, nice and neat, working around the corbels, filling in. There is a slight gap just between the roof and them, so I'm just sort of taking my time filling that as well. And pretty awkward because I can't get the full refiner trowel up in there. It's a wee bit too tight. What else is going on here, guys? We have a steel beam along the head here, so the owner was happy enough just to work to it freehand, but I decide it'll be a bit handier to put some beads on this job. So a bead along the top of that head, and it just sort of will keep moisture away from the steel, although there looks like there's hammerite paint on it, so, and it looks sturdy. There's not much weight above it, still quite a bit, like, but not overly for the actual steel beam that it is. It's just single skim gauge, which means it's only 1 block thick. It's not 2, there's no cavity. So yeah, like I said, 3:1 SBR in, mortar mix in, and waterproofing, and also painting SBR on as I go. As you see, I haven't bothered painting all the bottom yet. I have a wee test on the right there just to see what way the blocks are sucking in, and as you can see, it's still pretty whitish blue colour. So the glue's not drying, it's not getting dried in, and it's pretty cold. We're in December here, so it's getting cold. Not really rendering season, but when that's the jobs you have on, that's what you have to do. You can't just sit about and wait. And again, if it's going to be dry and you have outside work, guys, and you know it's not going to be freezing temperatures, you gotta crack on, get them outsides done while you have the chance. So yeah, when it comes to scratch coating, I'm putting plenty of pressure in here, making sure to fill all the voids in the concrete block. A lot of people's going to ask why I'm not scudding it. You don't have to scud block. Look at the gaps in that block, guys. If that's not enough grip, then I don't know what is, you know. Especially the fact that I've got SBR in and SBR on the wall. That's going to
I'm telling you, that's going to make that cement 10 times stronger, 10 times more bond, and again, probably 10 times more waterproof as well. But the owner tells me there is no dam coming there. So the new Eclipse snips here. I think I did an unboxing of them not that long ago. What am I cutting? That's the main question, guys. But exterior mesh here.